Hi Jordan, my name is Erica Amaya. I work with Safe Haven. We're here for Victims Advocate. First things first, I'm going to have you sign a confidentiality agreement, basically saying that everything we say here is going to stay between you and I. Um, if there is any type of um, threats against your life, I will have to report that, but everything else will stay confidential between you and I.
Okay. There you go.
So thank you so much. So why are we here?
Well, my husband and I are kind of not getting along. It was about 2 weeks ago. I was like just at home and he was going through my phone and he found a couple emails between a coworker and I work for an insurance like real estate place, so it's normal for me to be emailing coworkers all the time, and he went through them and was like accusing me of cheating and telling me that like I'm being unfaithful and all this stuff. And I tried to explain that like he's my coworker, we're on a project together, like it's normal for me to be like emailing him. And I even like told him to go through it because nothing in there was like wrong. Like there was nothing saying that I was like trying to do that or being unfaithful, but he wouldn't believe it and he threw me up against the wall and started beating me up and was like punching me in the face. And it really worried me because like this has never happened before, and I was scared because I just like didn't understand what was happening, and it's like kind of gotten worse. So that's like I'm scared for my life, and I don't know what to do. So
Okay, well, how long have you guys been together?
it's been about 4 years now.
Okay, and how long have you been married?
Like 3.5. We weren't dating very long before we got married. We thought it was like love at first sight.
And this is the first time that anything like this has ever happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's a very gentle person. Like when we started dating, he would buy me flowers and do everything like a normal boyfriend would do. And I just think that like he snapped, but like I was confused and like shooken up because like he knows like where I work, and like he knows that like I email people all the time. So
Makes sense. That makes sense. So, are there any type of drug or alcohol that he is consuming?
not that I know of. I mean, he drinks like a beer on occasion, but he's never like whenever that happened, he wasn't under the influence.
Okay, so there's no like alcohol or drug abuse in the relationship period that you know of.
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. Well, has he ever threatened you?
I mean, he's threatened me sometimes. Like whenever he gets mad, he's like, if you don't shut your mouth, I'm gonna hit you or something like that. Or like when we argue, he'll kind of like push me up against the wall and he'll like smack the wall right next to my head, like just trying to intimidate me.
Has he ever threatened you with a weapon?
Yeah, he has a gun in the house. We have a few guns in the house actually. We have a gun safe and he has access to it and I have access to it, but I mean, he's only put a gun to my head once.
I'm so sorry that happened. Really am. Have you ever tried or considered leaving before?
I've tried to leave before and it didn't really work out. He like caught me and like beat me basically like all over again. And he said, if you ever do that, like I'll kill you.
Do you believe him? Do you think he's capable of taking your life?
I mean, I don't know. Like I know like he has guns in the house and like he's put it up to my head before, but like I don't know if he's like capable of killing me. But I mean, I like from the way he's been, like it wouldn't shock me.
So you say you have a job. Does he?
Yeah, he works for he like is in real estate, so like he is like always like, well, I mean it just depends like his schedule. Like he has like sometimes he'll be off like all day, and then like he'll get called in like just for an hour or so, or some days he's gone all day, so like his schedule's never consistent.
So you say he's been doing it so long. Has he ever tried to choke you before?
Yeah, he strangled me before.
So I'm really sorry. Do you feel that he controls your relationship?
Yeah, I mean he's a really jealous person. Like, and especially like with the emails, like he'll go through my phone and like he'll look at my messages and like just to see like who I'm talking to and all that.
So he sneaks up in your messages. So he.
Yeah, I mean I let him because I have nothing to
Okay.
hide,
No, yeah, that makes sense.
but he like he'll go through just to look, just because like he is like I think he's like very insecure, but
Okay. Do you think that he ever does that with your phone calls or something?
I don't know. I mean, he always seems to know what's going on, so like I kind of have an idea, but I'm not sure if he does.
Have you told anyone, like, around your family, anybody you're close to, about what's happening?
I haven't told any of my family just because like they didn't approve of the relationship to begin with because they thought like we got into it too early and like we got married too quick, so I kind of like have leaned away from like telling them things, but I told one of my good friends and she's like urging me to like get out, but like she doesn't understand that it's like not that easy. So.
It's hard to live in a relationship like that, especially with all the years they have as a background. That makes sense. Do you feel that you would be capable of leaving?
Yeah, I mean, I love him, but you know, like with him hurting me, like I don't love him enough to like keep getting hurt.
Okay, so in the relationship, there's always like financial abuse that can be done as well. Do you think that you fall under this?
I mean, since I have a job as well, like I do have like a source of income, and he does as well, and we have like all our bank accounts like together. So I mean, I have like a little money set aside, but like not much. But he knows about that too.
Okay. And he's okay with you like having your own job and having your own money and stuff. Okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
So he can't control you, and like, not economically speaking. It's good that you're very independent there. So right now, do you have any bruises on you?
Not that I know of, no. I mean, he hasn't hit me in like a few days. But
Again, I'm really sorry this is happening to you. And just know that you're not alone. We do have a couple options for shelters available if you'd want to hear about that.
yes.
So we have a couple of shelters here in the area, and basically what they do is they bring you in, they do counseling with you, and they just take a couple assessments with you just to make sure that you're emotionally stable, and if not, they help you stabilize yourself. They allow you to stay there for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, just so you can get everything together, get all of your stuff out of your house, bring you into the shelter, and eventually find a place for you to live. The shelter is completely confidential. If anywhere you go where the shelter takes you to, no one knows where it is. So it's up to you to share that information. But still, there's a lot of rules to where only a certain amount of people will have that information and you won't ever be allowed to give them to. You probably will have to change your phone number if this is something that you want to do. It's going to be really hard for your family to be in contact with you. And the only people that will be allowed to is whoever you put on a certain list, whoever you reach out to. But since you told me that he's put a weapon in your head, we can also have things called restraining orders. And basically, it'll be an order, a protective order against him, so he will never be allowed to be any type like close to maybe near you. He'll have to be a certain amount of feet away from you, and if not, he could go to prison. And if he doesn't follow those protective orders, those are really important just for your safety and the safety of your job, because he knows where you live. You guys have been together for a long time, so he knows your habits. And I understand like it's really hard, and it's very difficult to think that the person you love the most will hurt you this way. But sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes your happiness is worth over what you feel with that person. And I would say that the shelters that we have here in the area are very helpful. The women and men that work there are great advocates. They do this for a living, and so everything that you bring in, coming in, any questions that you have, they'll be able to answer them for you.
Okay.
It's perfect there.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. So, just to just to recap everything that we're saying is, you want to leave your husband at this moment. You no longer want to be with him.
I'm scared that he'll hurt me.
Okay. And the thing is, like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Everything that's happening, everything that he said to you, nothing is your fault, because you're not doing anything for this to happen to you. Because some people respond differently to different situations, and sometimes it's not safe for you to be around those people. So we have a little danger assessment here, and from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of physical abuse. He does own a gun. Basically, they're just marks to tell you how much danger you are at the moment. And right now, you have a lot of points. So that means you're in high risk of danger against your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would recommend for you for us to seek out a shelter for you, a restraining order, just so you can make sure that in the process of you leaving him, everything's gonna be okay. And nothing is gonna, your safety will not be at risk.
Okay.
So we'll try to do as much as possible so that can happen.
Okay.
If you're trying to get everything out of your house, I recommend the restraining order, of course. A police officer can accompany you to your house. They can take everything for you. They can help you gather all your paper, your clothes, if you have pets. Do you have a pet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so good. So they can help you gather up all your stuff and take you to a shelter safely.
Okay.
Okay, so okay, so I do have this personal safety plan.
Mm-hmm.
It talks to you step by step on
Okay.
how we can make a plan for you. So basically, it tells you everything that you need to know about. See here, it talks about technology safety. It talks about
Okay.
protective orders, which is basically what I just told you. It's just a recap. It'll tell you everything that you need to know, who you have to call, where you have to go, how long you have to wait.
Okay.
Preparing to leave is very, very important, and we can go over this. Basically, it's just knowing not to be afraid because somebody's there with you.
Okay.
You're not, of course, if you are threatened, we will be there with you.
Okay.
And everything that we do, you will be protected.
Okay.
Over here is just safety for your own residence. Basically, if you have, do you guys live in an apartment or a house?
In a house.
Like I said, it's good, so you won't have to be breaking any leases. We'll skip over that one. And then safety job in the public. This is where the restraining order comes into play as well. That way, he won't be able to come anywhere near your job. It won't be able to cause you distress at your job.
Okay.
Just because we don't want that to happen, and we've seen multiple occasions where it has happened before.
Okay.
Back here, we just have a small checklist of everything that you need to bring: an identification, your birth certificate, social security card, and if you were to have any children, their certificates as well. Since you do have a set aside money, go ahead and I don't know if you were able to pull that money or if it's too much. Make sure it's not joined with his account,
Okay.
just so you can have you can be financially stable and grow.
Okay.
So that would be good, and you won't have to deal with all the paperwork at the bank with him anymore.
Okay.
Any type of legal papers, so your protective order, like I said, your lease, your house deed. Did you guys co-sign that house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll have to go through that. And type of insurance that you have, life insurance, health insurance, your car, medical records, just basically any type of legal paperwork.
Okay.
Make sure you bring with you.
Okay.
Any things that if you're taking any type of medication, address books, and type of valuable jewelry that you have, make sure to bring those with you as well.
Okay.
Along with a change of clothes and stuff like that, just so
Okay.
you can be comfortable at the shelter. Right here, these are really important numbers, so leave this pamphlet with you.
Okay.
These are emergency numbers, so of course the police is the first people you call. We also have this domestic violence hotline, which is really important. They help people that are trying to leave, to help men and women that are trying to leave the domestic violence families. And they're great advocates. They can show you and take you through the steps of leaving that person.
Okay.
We have an advocacy project. They're great. They deal with legal issues, so like anything like divorce papers and stuff like that, you can call them,
Okay.
and they can help you with everything.
Okay.
This is the protective services. Besides the police, I will be the first people to call,
Okay.
just so we can file a protective service against him.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and leave this with you.
Thank you so much for helping me.
Of course. And just know that your safety is our number one. And we'll do everything we can and everything in our power to make sure that you and everyone around you is going to be safe and no longer distressed because of this relationship.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.